All right, and then once you get into the competition phase, now this competition phase is going to last longer because you don't have the impact force of the running fast. You don't have, so you can actually stay in your competition phase for longer. So this competition phase can last across a competition season. So competition phase for the Tour de France is going to be, you're going to go and you're going to have one for the 3 weeks of the Tour de France. So you're obviously competing there. You're also, a few months earlier, you can do the Giro d'Italia, the Giro d'Italia. And that's going to be another big stage race where it's not going to last as long, but you can go in and you can work hard for that one. Then you can then recover and then peak again for your competition phase for the Tour de France. If you're a rower, you're going to go through a lot of the World Cup rowing, and then you're going to go to the World Championships. So you can do more and you can stay in this competition phase longer simply because the impact forces are lower. But again, in this competition phase, you're trying to stay in caloric balance. You're still trying to decrease the overall volume so that you can go at a higher intensity when you do go. You're going to be glycogen loaded every time you compete. You're going to probably be on beetroot juice over the whole period of time. You're going to have ramped up all of your beta-alanine already. You're going to take your 1.5 to 3 milligrams per kilogram body weight of caffeine before the race. And then if you are a cyclist, you're going to be taking in food. You're going to be doing all these things. If you're an Ironman triathlete, or if you're going to be taking in carbohydrate. And the more carbohydrates you take in, the faster you're going to finish the race. Okay? Because even if you're doing these ultra endurance races, you're going to need carbohydrate as your fuel, your primary fuel source to go fast. All right? Not really much new to talk about here relative to the strut endurance. All right, so when we're talking about motor endurance, you want to understand, first of all, is it motor, is it strut? What's the differential? And how much is muscle mass important? And then, which muscles are important? Let's get rid of all the excess muscle and fat that we don't need so that we can optimize performance. Remember, we're talking elite performance here. If you're like me and you've got a daughter and your daughter likes to cycle, it doesn't mean you're going to try and have them lose all of their upper body mass, because no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the elites here. We're talking about the professionals, the Olympics, all of those types of things. And there, what you're going to do is you're going to make some sacrifices in the short term for that short-term glory that you're going to be able to look back on for the long term of your life, okay? And so there we're going to lose extraneous muscle. We're going to lose extraneous fat. Some of the athletes, and this is not something we ever look for, but in some of the cyclists, they actually are so obsessed about their body weight that they decrease the intake of calcium-rich foods because they want to decrease their bone mass. It's one of the reasons why when you see cycling crashes, everybody breaks stuff, because their bones are really weak and brittle. Okay, that's not the way that we want to go. That's not healthy. All right, so the next thing is, over the base phase, you're trying to maximize oxygen delivery. That means you're going to increase VO2 max. Your target's going to be to increase heart function. Remember what your molecular mechanisms are. You're going to get the integrin is going to get that stretch. That's going to allow it to phosphorylate ILK. When ILK is phosphorylated, it brings up Malusin. Malusin is going to bring up PKB. PKB is now at the membrane, phosphorylated by mTOR complex 2, and now you're going to activate mTOR that way. And then you can also increase oxygen delivery by increasing red blood cells, training at altitude, and that's going to increase erythropoietin. You're going to also get the peripheral adaptation, the increase in mitochondrial mass in your type 2 fibers by doing the high intensity through AMP kinase to PGS1 alpha, low intensity, long duration through CAMP kinase to PGS1 alpha. And all of those things are now going to then be things that you can use. You're going to want to decrease antioxidants. You're going to use high intensity work. You're going to use this sleep low idea. So that's the low calorie or muscle glycogen depleted overnight sleep low. You're going to use that 3 times a week to maximize mitochondrial adaptations. Then as you get into specific preparation, now you're looking to improve lactate clearance. So you're going to look to improve mitochondrial mass, increase PGS1 alpha, and that's going to give you MCT1. You're also going to look to increase MCT4, and the way that you're going to do that is you're going to start that specific preparation and some of your base phase by using bicarbonate when you're out on these high intensity things. So that as you increase your bicarbonate, now you can buffer more hydrogen, You can generate more lactate by going harder. You've got a greater gradient that's going to increase your MCT4. All right, you're going to increase fat oxidation, and that's going to be done with the periodic low glycogen training. And then we talked about different things that you could do to take to increase PPAR activity. But you don't want to do that all the time because PPAR also increases that pyruvate dehydrogenase kinase, which prevents pyruvate from getting into the mitochondria. So we're only going to do that sparingly. We're going to, once we start specific preparation, we're going to do the beta-alanine supplementation. That's going to increase carnosine and improve our muscle buffering capacity as well. And then as we get later into the specific preparation, we're going to do a lot more plyometric fast movements in the gym, trying to increase the power, increase the stiffness. We're going to add collagen or hydrolyzed collagen and vitamin C at that time. We're going to bring in beetroot juice. We're going to talk about epicatechin-rich cocoa. And then on the day, we're going to take 1.5 to 3 milligrams of caffeine. We're going to supplement with 60 milligrams per hour of carbohydrate. It's a 2-to-1 ratio of glucose to fructose. You guys got this. You know this now. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can either teach somebody else to do it, or you can go out and use it yourself to improve your performance to the best you've ever done. All right? Let's do it.